1 Samuel chapter 21, David takes the consecrated bread. Then David went to Nob, to Amalek. This is the words where you get all tongue-tied. The priest, and Amalek came trembling in fear to meet David and said to him, "Why are you alone and no one with you?" David said to Amalek the priest, "The king has commissioned me with a matter and has told me, let no one know anything about this matter for which I am sending you and with which I have commissioned you. I have directed the young man to a certain place. Now what food do you have on hand? Give me 5 loaves of bread or whatever can be found." The priest answered David, "There is no ordinary unconsecrated bread on hand, but there is consecrated bread. You may have it, if only the young men have kept themselves from women." David answered the priest, "Be assured that women have been kept from us in these 3 days since I set out, and the bodies of the young men were consecrated, ceremonially clean, although it was an ordinary unconsecrated journey. So how much more will their vessels be holy today?" So the priest gave him the consecrated bread, for there was no bread there except the bread of the presence, which was removed from before the Lord in order to be put hot bread in its place when it was taken away. So it says right here, this was the bread that had been displayed before the Lord for a week and was removed for fresh bread. In giving the bread to David, Abimelech broke the law, yet in his compassion he kept the spirit of the law. Jesus referred to this incident when he explained to the Pharisees that it was all right to pick grain to eat on the Sabbath. Now, when one of Saul's servants was there that day, detained before the Lord, his name was Dog the Edomite, the chief of Saul's shepherds. David said to Abimelech, "Do you not have a sword or spear here on hand? For I brought neither my sword nor my other weapons with me, because the king's business was urgent." Then the priest said, "The sword of Goliath the Philistines, whom you killed in the valley of Elah, is here, wrapped in a cloth behind the ephod. If you would take it for yourself, do so, for there is no other here except for it." And David said, "There is none like that. Give it to me." Then David arose and fled from Saul that day and went to Achish, king of Gath. The servants of Achish said to him, "Is this not David, the king of the land? Did they not sing in praise of this one as they danced, saying, 'Saul has slain his thousands, David his 10,000s'?" So David took these words to heart and was greatly afraid of Achish, king of Gath. So fearing for his life, he changed his behavior in their sight and acted insanely in their hands. And he scribbled on the door of the gate, and he drooled on his beard. Then Achish said to his servants, "Look, you see that this man is insane. Why have you brought him to me? Do I lack madmen that you bring this one to behave like a madman in my presence? Shall this one come from my house?" So we read that and we get a little confused. We're like, why did he do that? But maybe he did that because he realized that, you know what, they recognize him as the one that killed their Philistine, right? So it was more survival because, you know what, they would have got him and killed him, or who knows what would have happened. And then it worked. And then we were going to read later, I just looked it up, but we're going to read later in Psalm 34 when he talks about how he praised God from rescuing him from that point in his life. So, all right, we read that. If you can read that without knowing anymore, it's like, why would he do that? But it was because he knew that they could imprison him, or who knows what they would do to him. So, all right, this is your Daily Bible Chapter. We are reading God's Word Monday through Friday. I'll see you tomorrow.